Hello. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Nadia, owner and CEO of SASSISoul Boutique. Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you so much for tuning in to the channel yet again. If you are new here, please subscribe. Listen, we're talking all things boutique life, business owner. We just want to help one another, right? So make sure to share, comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can be notified when the next video drops. As you can see from the title, we are talking about my fear of starting and promoting and posting and living out my dream on social media. You know how we do it, we get right into it. So I hope you have your pen and paper just to take some notes to say, okay, let me compare notes. Is this me? Do I have these same fears? Is this why I haven't jumped out on my dream? Let's get into it. All right. So as you know, on this channel, we talk about all things boutique life and boutique love. And today we're talking about the reasons why I fear getting onto social media. Social media, oh my gosh, when I thought about just the thought of getting on social media, it just drained me. That is one of the reasons why I struggled with starting my business. If you go way back into the videos that I posted weeks ago, I talked about how I wanted to start my boutique in 2020, but I just could not get myself down to just doing it. And maybe back in 2020, because I started like, okay, I'm gonna do it. 2019, 2020 came and I'm gonna do it. And I just could not. The fear, the things that just came over me, I'm sorry. It takes me back to a place where it's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm thankful that I'm delivered from those fears, but it was real. There were so many things when it came to social media that just caused me to feel like, you know what, I cannot do this. And the number one reason with social media, knowing that I was going to be promoting a boutique, was my body. Like, I do not have the body figure like some of the other boutique ladies. I know that, you're supposed to love yourself and not care what anyone thinks. It was what I thought about myself. I felt like my body was just out of shape, out of sequence, everything. At that time, I was weighing close to about 260 pounds. I have dropped almost 70 pounds, but at that time, I was almost 260, 270 pounds. And it was rough. Like, I struggled with, I know that I'm not gonna look right, feel right in the clothes that I want. I knew that I wanted to do both plus and regular size clothing. But I struggled. I struggled with having to take the pictures, with having to promote it, just being myself. For some of you that don't know or may know me, I struggled with asthma. I have had asthma all of my life. And for a period of time, I was on steroids for about 7 years, like the highest dose. And it caused me to gain so much weight. And so I was dealing with that in 2020. Although I was off the medication, I still had the weight, and I just could not see myself getting on social media promoting anything. So what I did, I decided to put my boutique on hold, and I began to work on my body. I began eating right, and I began exercising. Shortly after that, the world, the city, everything around us was shut down because of COVID, and we went home. I was listening to all of the people talk about how much eating they were doing because they were just at home and there was nothing to do. And in the back of my mind, I said, you know what, this is my opportunity to just do it right. So for me, being at home was a lot easier to lose weight. When I was in the office, I could not stop eating the snacks that people were bringing, especially around holidays, cookies, cakes, and candies, and everybody's birthday. So I really decided that, you know what, this is the time for me to just buckle down and lose weight. And I did. I started when we got home around March, I believe. And by May, I had lost a good 30 or 40 pounds. I mean, I had went in, I just was eating properly. I was counting calories. And I decided that I was going to do it, and I did it. And so, I'm sorry, I have like some sniffles going on here. I decided that I was going to work on my body. So I did that. I was so proud of myself that I had lost so much weight, and I have gained about 10 of those pounds back, but not where I was, hardly. So I was like so grateful for that. I said, you know what, I can really start my boutique now. But then I started thinking about some other things that I deal with. And I know I mentioned in my last video that I have like this speech impediment type deal because I've had 2 strokes. And even though it was not long-term, like permanent damage, there are some speech issues when it comes to me from my strokes. I have almost like a stutter, but a lot of people don't hear it. And even when I'm back, like, editing my videos, I don't hear it. I'm like, I know that I stumbled there. I know that I, said a little word that didn't sound right there because I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when I know that there is something that I want to take out of my video, I make like a gesture on my camera to remind myself, okay, you want to edit right there. So I know that that's when I made that kind of weird sound with my speech. And so I didn't want to be on social media stumbling over my words and making people, have something to say. Another thing was, my lifestyle. I am a Christian, and social media can be very vulgar, very critical, and very volatile and dramatic. And I did not want to introduce myself into a world where it was going to force me to have to respond to negativity or do something that I would kind of question myself, or others would question, or something that I felt would kind of dampen my witness as a Christian. So I felt like I couldn't do it. I knew that, there was secular music as I was watching other boutiques. They were using secular music to promote their pieces. And I'm like, I don't listen to secular music. And I know that the Christian world is so judgmental. I'm like, I know that even if they hear anything on my video that has anything to do with the secular artist, somebody's going to say something, and I don't want to be the one that's causing another to stumble. So I kind of struggle with that. I also struggle with my past. My past is very difficult. I grew up in a neighborhood where it was very gang infested, drug infested. And so I found myself in a lot of those things. And so I didn't want any of my friends that from past, oh yeah, I remember when you used to do this, and you know what I mean? I didn't want any of that to come up. So I tried to stay away from having to allow my past to get in the way. I struggled with, old boyfriends. I didn't want anyone to feel like I was looking for them, hunting them down, or, you know what I mean? I do have some people that I interacted with as far as a relationship. I mean, I've been with my husband since I was 16, but so these relationships were like petty. But I follow them, they follow me, and I don't want, like, if I like a picture for somebody to be like, oh, you want him? No, and no again, and no one more time, because no, and no. I don't want anybody but the man I'm with, the love of my life. So I struggled with that, and then I didn't want them to see the change in me, the change in my body, the change in my face, the change in, who I was back then. Back then, I was like a size 2, slamming body, yeah. And it was hard. It was hard for me to even think about, okay, I don't want them to see me like this. I don't want them to have something to say. I don't want to see them and their new boo. And, maybe they got a wife that's got this Coca-Cola bottle, and, and then I'll be feeling some kind of way. I mean, all of this stuff began to run through my head, and I was struggling with it. I'm not very popular in the secular world, I should say, because all of my friends, people that I hang with, people that I deal with, people that I connect with are all Christians. And so I didn't know how to network with people that were not in a Christian community, because I kind of pride myself on separating myself from the world, separating myself from, the secular life, the worldly life, if I should say. And I didn't know how to get myself back out there because I had been so separated for so long. It was like, what do I say? What do I even do? What's the words, lit and turn up, and I only do that stuff because I have children. So it's like, I didn't know how to connect with people anymore because I had isolated myself to the Christian community. So that was very difficult for me. My teeth, and if I can, I'm gonna try to put a picture either here, or maybe not. I had a gap here that nagged me to death. I hated to see it, especially in pictures. So I wouldn't really smile in pictures, and I definitely would not talk in a camera, because there was absolutely no way I was, okay, I'm back. There was absolutely no way I was going to allow myself to get into a camera with this gap I had in my mouth. It was bad. Well, it wasn't terrible. It was bad to me. As a youngster, not a teenager, maybe about 12 or so, I had braces for a little while, and for some reason, I don't know if my mom couldn't finish the payments. All I remember is I had them and then I didn't have them. And some of the issues that I had were fixed and some of them were not. And that was one of the things that was not fixed. So I felt like it was just a sore thumb anytime I took a picture, anytime I was on a video. So I tried to hide it as much as I could. And so getting in the camera was like a no. And I'm on a praise team. I'm on a praise team at church, and you know, when I'm up there, I don't think about anything but giving God the glory, praising Him, singing to the goodness of the Lord. So I don't think about it. And so when I finally did start on social media, and I'm like, could see myself talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this gap is like staring me in the face. But then I would say to myself, like, you don't have a problem when you're singing in church. Well, that's because that's my safe place, you know, because like I said, everything about me is built around the Christian community. And so I didn't care about anything there, not my weight, my size. You know, I always looked good when I wore it, baby, because I was a shopper and I was always cute. But I struggled. So how did I do it? How did I break through all of those barriers? How did I ignore all of the warnings that said, don't do it, you're not right for the job? I trusted in the fact that the word says that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, period. And so I started to see some that were bigger than me, that were, wasn't as cute to me as me. And I said, there's absolutely no way if they can do it, I can't. So I picked up my pity and I carried on. I didn't have a party, I carried on. I did what I had to do. I started posting on social media and I started loving myself. Yes, from the very beginning, it gave me anxiety. I looked at my videos over and over and over again, my posts 100 times before I posted them, like, okay, is there a way to hide this? Is there a way to hide this? I did not smile a lot. I definitely didn't go on the camera and talk much. I was very hesitant in the beginning. But then I found myself like, girl, bye, I know I'm cute, so let me just keep going and keep doing what I'm doing on this here post so I can get my stuff sold. And then it was a struggle with social media. With YouTube. It was like, there's no way I can do videos and my teeth are like this. So little by little, I just said, you know what, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care what people think. I do post my music to social media, to secular music. And when I say secular music, I'm sure everyone understands what I'm talking about. But like Beyonce versus Kiara Shepherd or Jacqueline Carr, something like that. If it's trending, it's trending. I'm going to use it. I have a business coach that tells me, hey, we're trying to make sales. We don't care about that. And I'm like, hey, you're right. Because I work, my 9 to 5 is a secular job. Like, they are not Christians. My boss is not telling me to pray before I make a transaction. I live in a secular world, and so I have to learn how to conduce and learn how to adapt to my surroundings. And not to say that I'm so stuck in, oh my gosh, everything got to be Christian and God and Jesus. Don't get me twisted. Now, I have fun and I am who I am. It was just on camera in front of strangers that was difficult, because I hold pride to who I am. I hold pride to my identity in Christ. So I wanted to make sure that I was not criticizing or being critical toward my witness to those that out there that I knew needed to be saved and needed to turn their life around. So that was my biggest thing. So when it came to my body, I just said, you know what? Who cares what I look like? Probably everybody. But I have a husband and he loves me. He loves all of me. He loves every bit of the body that I'm trying to get together. So I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, if my husband loves it, then what? If I know how to make it look good, then what? I know how to walk it, I know how to talk it, I know how to switch, I know how to flaunt with the camera. Baby, I am it. So I'm no longer afraid of that. No, my body is not where I want it to be. It's not where it used to be, but I'm good at where it is because I'm confident. That's one thing about me that I struggle with. Like, I was never I always had confidence. I never had low self-esteem about who I am, about what I look like. And so I struggled with that. Like, why are you tripping, girl? You've never had low self-esteem. So I finally just said, I'm cute and I'm gonna do it. When it came to my speech, it's like, okay, I'm gonna explain it one time. If somebody asks, I'll explain it again. But at the end of the day, I have a medical situation going on, something that I struggle with medically, and that's just it. It's nothing that I do on purpose. It's not, I'm not damaged goods. It's speech impediment. And you just gotta deal with it. So I said, you know what, whatever. My sister, whom is like so raw and uncut, she was like, girl, don't nobody care about what you did a long time ago. Get on that camera. So I had to listen to her words like, okay, these people probably ain't checking for me like I think they are. And lo and behold, when I got on here, no one has mentioned anything from my past. I have not seen anyone from my past, although I know that a bunch of them are either in prison or unalive. So it's like, what you afraid of? I think a lot of that was shame and it was guilt. And I have since given that over to God, and I'm like, yeah, no condemnation here. I'm good. Not being popular, not knowing how to connect and network with the society, with the world today, because I had been so sheltered in my Christian community. So I know how to, I am a Christian. I have balance. So I don't want anyone to get it twisted like, oh my gosh, yeah, Jesus freak. Like, I have balance, but I have balance with people that I know. And so I just said, just be yourself. Be who you are. I love to crack jokes. I love to talk about people. I love to laugh and dance and have fun. I love to talk loud. I love to laugh loud. I love to reminisce. I like good times. Like, I like reality TV. Like, that's who I am. And, you know, judge me or judge me not. I know who I am in Christ, and I understand the plan of salvation. And so I'm not worried about what anybody thinks about me. I do know that people lurk my page and they try to say, you know, what I'm doing and make certain comments to certain people about what I'm doing. But none of them are running a business. Some of them that are talking actually don't even have their own job. So why are you talking about me, boo? You need to go get a job. Anyway, so I decided that I was not going to let that bother me. Oh, boyfriends. I was like, he look a hot mess. And I thank God I dodged that bullet. And I don't want him. And we ain't got nothing in common. So yeah, live your life. I'm living mine. So that came and went real quick. My teeth, I actually got it fixed. Like I said, I'll try to put a picture, a before and after picture. I got that fixed for many reasons, because I know that there's a calling on my life to speak publicly. And I wanted to make sure that, the visual was good. So there was some insecurity still there. And not because anyone has ever said anything. Even my husband was like, girl, what did you get done? I don't even see the difference. I was so mad at him, by the way. But I wanted to look good. I wanted to feel like I looked good. I didn't want anything to distract me from the greatness that is to come from me, the encouragement that is to be on the people. So I wanted to make certain that I represented who I was, in full, 100%. So I'm gonna say to anyone out there that is fearful of social media, you control what you get into, what you respond to, what's going on. You just have to be wise. This is an area where you have to use wisdom. You can't get involved with the he say, she say. I've learned not to suck myself into what the world is saying about different people and things of that sort. I don't get involved with the drama. Yes, there is drama on social media, but I don't get involved with it. I don't take posts and comments personal. Oh, she talking about me. Oh, that's about me. Oh, I know that's, I don't do that. So this is how I have really allowed myself to control the level of fear I have for social media. Again, I love who I am. I think I'm a beautiful woman. I think that I represent who I am well. I represent my children, my husband. No one can ever say that I have been inappropriate on any platform. And so I'm good with that. And so I would say to anyone out there that has a fear of social media, you are in control of that. There was a point in time where I demised social media. I'm like, what? Facebook? You're on Facebook? That's a sin. Instagram? I would never. And I had to literally eat my words. And I've eaten my words in front of people that I've said that to over and over and over again. And when I finally got on social media and started requesting people, they're like, girl, I thought that was a robot, a bot. I thought that was a scam because you on social media? I'm like, yes, I'm on social media. I see the benefit of social media now. I see what it can offer my business. I see what it can do for me personally. Since I've been on social media, I have networked with so many people. I have grown to learn and know so many people. I have done a speaking engagement. I have been on podcasts and connected with people in different states and different countries even. And I'm building a community of trust with the people that I'm connecting with on social media. And so I'm proud of my level of integrity, my level of purity and honesty on social media. And so I'm no longer fearful of that. What you got next? Like, what I'm supposed to do? One of the things that I struggled with was how to operate those platforms. Very difficult for me, but I'm learning. I am still learning, and I've gotten the hang of a lot of different clicks and tricks on social media. So I'm so proud of where I've come and who I have become. And I'm thankful that I had the fear, because now I know why and I know how to trust myself, right? It was a level of trust for myself. I wanted to make sure that I didn't get involved in pettiness, that I didn't go back to my past, and I didn't allow it to depress me, and that I didn't allow it to control my morals and my values. So that is the main thing when it comes to social media. Yes, some people lose who they are in social media. They put anything on social media to make a dollar, but that's not who I am, and I'm okay with that. And so I pray that this has been helpful for someone. Me telling my story, not necessarily your business, or I don't owe this explanation to anyone, but I thought that this might be helpful because I looked and searched for someone to tell me why social media was okay being a Christian, why social media was okay being a mom, why social media was okay for a business owner, and I could not find it. So here I am to tell you that even if you have children that are teenagers, small children, if you are in church, I don't care if you are a pastor, a leader, an elder, a bishop, whatever the case may be, you control the level of purity and integrity on your social media page by being yourself. And we talked about that in the last video. Stay true to who you are. Don't allow what's going on around you to confuse you at who you are supposed to be on social media. I refuse to be the one that is loosey-goosey out here and doing whatever. We talked about that again in the last video. I have a level of integrity that I am not willing to compromise, and that's just it. And so I feel like, that's just who we have to be, is ourselves. We have to control who we are, what we do, what we see, and how we react. So again, I hope this was helpful for someone. I pray that you come back for the next video. We're gonna get into some more of my personal convictions, my personal problems, issues with starting my boutique. Again, this has everything to do with my boutique because I needed a social media presence to start my business. I started with the personal page. Once I built that up, I started my business page, and those people transferred right over to my business page, and my business page is growing by leaps and bounds, and I could not be any more excited for what God is doing, because God is still working. God is still doing this, because it's a level of work. It's a responsibility for my family. It's a level up for my family. It's a financial blessing for my family to do what I do. So again, thank you so much for joining me on the channel today. Come back for the next video. And as always, I'm going to remind you to stay sassy, stay classy, and stay confident. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.